Hi, I'm Yam Kamakshaya, open source software evangelist and also a full stack software developer. This videocast is meant for demonstrating how to create smart student smart attendance management system. So the intention behind this videocast is that a couple of days before I was searching for a perfect documentation to create smart attendance management system, and it was not possible for me to get one. And I thought, there are few tutorials as well as documentation available, but it is very scanty, and they frankly don't deal with logic. So I thought of creating a video where I can explain logic, because logic is very important to. There are two things in web application, that is front end and back end. And front end doesn't matter, like it depends on the creativity of the developer, but the back end is very very important because it deals with logic. I'm going to make use of Python to develop this web application, and I am planning to use Flask micro framework to develop this application. Now, as usual, you need to have a folder. I'm going to create the folder. I just give smart students attendance management system, something like that. And now what I do, I open my editor. I'm going to use Atom for this purpose, and Atom opens your default project. Let me clean everything here, and then open the new window. Let me close this window. Now again, let me close all this rubbish. Now, so I'm just going to drag this folder into the Atom so that I have. Now, as usual, I need a server file, which is an app file, app.py, and then I need templates folder. I imagine that you know basics of web development, especially creating the project, any project using Flask micro framework, something like that, or at least you should know Django kind of thing. Now go to the folder. We need a folder for templates. In this templates we are going to keep our HTML files. Now let me go to this app file, and in this app file I'm going to start my server logic, that is from Flask import Flask. Okay, and I also need a couple of other functions, render template, and then request. Let's see what else we need after some time. Now I'm going to initiate my app Flask and then name. This is an initialization of. Now I'm going to start a route, or maybe it's called server. An address for our page app route, and I simply call it as / that is going to deal with, which means when I'm going to start my router in this way, HTTP 127 or localhost 5000 is the default port. When I'm going to input this address in the server in the browser, and it's going to open this file. Okay, that is what is the intention behind using this / This is what is this / okay. So this is the default address of the Flask, the server which we are going to create using this Flask. Now I'm going to create logic for this route. That is going to be index. I'm going to give a name, and that name is index. Then return render template index.html. So this is the HTML page front end for this server logic. And now we need to create this index.html, and this is the front end for this backend logic. Now what we are going to do, we're just going to, our plan for this application is going to be like this. We need a set of students, maybe some 10-20 students, and whose attendance we are just going to create, and that attendance. So once we finish performing the attendance, giving attendance to the students, and that values need to be redirected to a particular route. That is what is going to be the. Now for this, what happens, I'm going to use some dummy. Let me save the file, and I think I did not close my server file. That is going, if I, this is the way we close this. So name is equal to main, and that is going to be app run debug true. Now save this, come to the index, and okay, it is, I think, yeah, we need to now imagine that we have some student data, and I'm just going to make use of this. I have a file in my, a logic file. This is, I have some code in this file. I'm going to make use of this file. You see now, if you calculate pi, you see here I have little, I mean a couple of functions which will create some student data. Now what I do, this is my Python program file, and now I need to import this file into the app. So say I have in the same directory import calculate as calc. That is a shortcut. Now I'm going to use this calc to create data, because I don't have the backend database for students. So I'm just going to simulate some set of students, and I use those students. For time being, we just if you can go to my file, like I have register numbers, and this I used a particular module called random in order to simulate register numbers for a number of students, and this is how it is going to work. Now let me go to this regnums, something like that, calc, and now I forgot the function. I think regnums, this is the name of the function, and regnums, and let me create some 10 students. Okay, now this is going to create a list of random registration numbers for students, and these registration numbers we are going to print. We are going to give attendance to this list of students who are whose registration numbers are there with us. Okay, now first let us print these numbers. Let us give this inputs data is equal to regnums. Let's see if we are, or I can just print here, print regnums, and let's say now, since we are passing data to this index and we need some code here, we need a for loop to, I don't think we need for loop. Okay, let for I in data, that is what is, this data is coming from here, from this route data, and this data has reg numbers which we are computing using this function from this Python program file. Okay, let's go to index, and from for item in, now this I'm going to print as a separate paragraph with HTML p tag I, and now since this is a variable, this is how I need to mention. Now let me end the for loop, and for I think this is okay. Now let us test if we can redirect this data which is coming from this function to this route or not. I think everything is fine. Now let us go to the, I think let me open the PowerShell in my dir SAMs. I don't know where is the SAM. Okay, Python app, sorry, in PowerShell this is the problem, app.py. Let me open, oh, there is a mistake here. Import flask, from flask, import flask, template, yes, correct. We have a mistake here, template, and then let us, yeah, again there is another mistake, render template. Now go back and see if this is okay or not. Yes, our server started now. Let me copy this link. You don't need to do that. You can just go back to the browser. I think I did not open my browser. I'm going to open the Chrome browser, and now render template is not defined. Where is that? Render template. Okay, now you see we got this so we just have to imagine that these are some of the registration numbers related to some 10 different students. Now what we are going to do, we're just going to populate checkboxes just adjacent to these registration numbers. We cannot go for the radio buttons because there is a problem with radio buttons. You can't select multiple instances using radio buttons, so we have to go for the checkbox. Now what we need, we have to go to the index. Now just adjacent to this, I'm going to create an input tag, and this is going to be checkbox. I give a name, and name is, do I need to give the name? Yeah, I have to give, this is going to be attendance. No, I give present, and then value is I give the ID number of this ID number. Okay, I'll tell you why. Maybe you may be confusing why I'm doing this. I'm going to show you in no time. And this is going to be I. Okay, so this I is the registration number of the student, the same I, and there are two checkboxes. Now let us put an input for submit, a button, and the value is going to be, name is let us write submit here. This is the value of that. Now whenever we press, I think we forgot to make the form. This button will not be valid unless if it is we need to make some form. We have to put inside a form, and soon after it finishes, it will go for attendance route. Let's see, and it's a post request, and yeah, everything is okay. I think we need to make this route attendance. That will do that within no time. Now let us go back and yeah, I think no, I think we have put this inside this relax. We have to come out of this. Yeah, yes, now you see we got a beautiful arrangement for, now we can check these boxes so that it mimics like attendance. We are just going to, this is the student registration ID. You can also give names. I think I have a function for names. I think that is there inside this calculate pi. Yeah, names. If you want to display the names of the students, this is just a kind of funny Python code to simulate data related to some set of students. I've written this is a very simple code, don't worry. Like, I can simulate names, courses, place, registration number, something like that. We can also put the registration number along with names and other details, but that is going to lengthen my video. I don't like to do that. Now you can come back to app, and instead of reg names, you can make use of names, and let's see what's going to happen if, yeah, these are some dummy gibberish collection of letters, and I created using a module called string. You see here, string ASCII lowercase, each 5 of letters taken as a sample, and again this function is coming from, okay, something like this. So you either can use imagine that these are the student names, or if you want to go for, I think reg names makes more meaning instead of names. Reg numbers, I think reg nums, I think this makes more meaning, the numbers always. Now whenever we press, and this items must be able to, we should be able to get the registration number of the student. This is, let us imagine that this is present, this is absent, something like that. If you want, you can also make a kind of okay, it is not a table anyway, we have to go for the table. Okay, let me put this very simple. Now this is a registration number. This column of the checkboxes is for presence. This column of the second column of the checkboxes is for the absence. Okay, this is how the logic goes. Now what I do, I make I need to, so once I okay, first let me take you to the page source. You see here, this is an input with the registration number and the same registration number. So this is an input for the same student. So that is why you got the registration number. You may be confusing, but there is a logic inside this activity. Okay, now we are going to figure out how to get the value. As and when I press this checkbox, I need to get the registration number of this student. So that is, I'm going to write the logic for that particular activity. And what I'm going to do is go back to app, and now I create a route. Okay, and this route is going to be attendance. Yeah, I think the name of the attendance. I'm just going to forward this to attendance. That is what is the, and then I'm going to define logic for this. Okay, now this is going to make a request, post request. Post means when we press this button, submit. Okay, here we are going to post this information, and that information should be rechanneled or redirected to a particular route. That is what is the logic. Now this is going to be, we are going to mention the methods here. We are going to use both of the methods. One is get, the other one is post. Okay, just a post can do things. If request, this request is this. Okay, this function request method is post, which means when we press that submit button, then we are going to get the values, and this is going to be present is request form. Okay, get list, and then this is going to be present. Where is this? This present is the checkbox name, this present. And now we need to get the value for absent. Okay, and now let us go back to the app, and now let us create one more list, absent. This is going to be request the data from form, and this is get list, and this is going to be absent. Now both of them are going to be, now render return render template, and then attendance, yes, HTML, and here we are going to redirect this info, and this info is going to be the list of both present and absent. So I prefer to put this as list. Now we need to create a HTML file that in the templates folder. Where is this new file? And then now in this we are going to and just since this information is coming from, we simply put it as info. Okay, and this is going to be a paragraph, put inside a paragraph, or we can come just make a division. Let me not have the class, even if you, and this is going to be info. Where is this information is coming? This information has the details of both this present and absent kind of thing. Is it okay? Think everything is okay. Let me go back, and yeah, my server is still going on. Now let me refresh first, and present, absent, absent, absent. Now let me say all the best and press yeah. See, these are the students who are student with registration number 78640 is present, 32840 is present, 78771 is present, something like that, and these students are absent. Now you can take this information into your database, and you can make tables, and you can also enumerate. Suppose if you Want to know the how many students are present in a given date, then you can just come to your logic place, and here you can print number of students present, and this is going to be length of present. Okay, now number of students absent, this is going to be length of absent. Now you can also put that information here, NSP, NSA kind of thing. I think this is not a list of okay, let's see if we can. Yeah, you see 6 students present and 4 students absent. Now let us make one more student present. Now this is going to be 7, and 3 students out of 10, 7 students are present. Now this is just a raw logic. I'm not showing you how to take this information into a database and from there redirecting that into a dashboard. You can also make a plot or a visual. You can make a line diagram, how many students are absent, how many students are present. You can make a bar chart and create a dashboard for the students as well as the parents and other individuals, whoever is connected to this kind of activity. So this is basically the core logic related to student smart attendance management system, something like that. So this I was not able to find anywhere in online, either by documentation or by online video tutorials. So I just thought of making this so that it is easy now for people to make this kind of information systems using the core logic like this. Okay, if you like this video, press like and stay tuned for new content, and don't forget to subscribe to my video channel. Thanks for watching this video once again.